שבט אחים גם יחד. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב. שבט אחים גם
Sure. My goodness. All right, I'm going to Mount Tov. You want to lead it? You want me to lead it? Go for it.
Mato, Umanayim, Shevirachim, Gam Yachad. Hey Mato, Umanayim, Shevirachim, Gam Yachad. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is to
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. Hey Mato, Umanayim, Shevirachim, Gam Yachad. Hey Mato, Umanayim, Shevirachim, Gam Yachad.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Boker Tov. If you do not have a Siddur, you might want to grab a Siddur, which is the book we use that has all of our prayers in it. I'm always a big fan of using a Siddur. Even if you know the words to the prayers, it helps me to focus on what I'm saying, to be able to look at it. I also like having something in my hands, so I'm going to strongly encourage it. I'm Rabbi Molly, here with my friend Emmett, who's leading with me today. And we are going to begin with our prayer Modani, but before we do that, we're going to do something a little different than we have done recently, but this is how, if you became a B Mitzvah with Cantor David, this is how we used to roll a long time ago. We have 3 chairs up here, and I was talking with our 6th through 8th graders about helping to lead the service today, and you all know that I just like to randomly call people, but I also, if you are, I'm going to say, in 5th grade or older, and you want to help lead one of the prayers, you can come sit in one of these chairs, and then I'll let you know when you can come up and lead something. And if not, that's okay. It could be, you could do English, you could do Hebrew. Love it, Max. Love it, Zelly. Love that energy. Awesome. Okay, so in the meantime, though, we're going to begin on page 68. Shishim, Shmone, 68, with Modeh Ani or Modani, giving thanks that we are alive today on this beautiful Shabbat morning. So, 68. If you would like to come up and lead our stretches, please come up onto the bima. And if you are not going to lead the stretches, but you're in our kahal, in our community, you can stand up if you're able, and we'll move our bodies as we give thanks for them. Awesome.
Modeh Ani lefanecha, lecha yekayah, ve'etata b'nishmati v'chemla, v'chemla
going to continue on page 76. 76 with Asher Yatzar, giving thanks for our bodies.
I thank you for my life, body and soul. I'm perfect the way I am, and a little broken too. Perfect the way I am, and a little broken too. I'm living each day as a gift I give to you. Yeah, whoa. Baruch atah Adonai, Bavechu basar mafli la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai, Bavechu basar mafli la'asot.
And we'll turn now to page 78 for Elohai Neshama.
Elohai neshama shenatata Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata Tehorahi.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi.
Baruch atah Adonai asher biyado nefesh kol chai zeruach kol basar ish.
We shall now do the Nisim B'chol Yom on page 80 for any of you who want to follow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan la'sefer bina lechavin ben yom uven laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sokev kefufim.
Amen. Baruch haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamelech mitzadek haver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten le'ayat roa.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir shenai me'ainai utnuma me'afav hai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani b'tzalav Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani ben chorim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Amen.
And on the next page, we have our blessing for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. All right, I want to share a little story with you. This is a part of the service where we sometimes do a little bit of a text study. When you say a blessing, that's a blessing with the long blessing, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, that we're commanded to do something, then we have to follow with an action. So today I'm going to share a little story that is one you may have heard before. This is a story about a king. And this king had a lot of things because he was a king. So he basically had everything he wanted. But his favorite thing that he owned of all his possessions was this beautiful diamond. Diamond. It was a very large diamond, ethically mined. And he kept this diamond in a special box, and he kept that box in a special room, and he took really good care of this diamond. And every single day, he would go check on his diamond, and he would carefully go into the room, open the box, take out the diamond, and hold it up to the room, kind of like this one with all these windows, and the sun would come in, and he would see these beautiful lights coming off of the diamond, and he would admire it, and he loved it so much. Now one day, he went in, just like usual, to go check on his diamond, take in the beauty of it, and just as he was about to take the diamond out, his employee, one of his workers, attendants, ran in, like, King, there's an emergency. Well, that totally caught him off guard, and he dropped his diamond on the ground. And he's freaking out, so upset. So, my diamond, he picks it up. Okay. Looks like it's not broken. It's okay, there's no chips. Okay, I think we're okay. And then he turns it to one side, and he sees a huge scratch in the diamond. He's like, my diamond. And he was really angry with the attendant, right? Because the attendant was like, how could you do that? It's your fault. You made me nervous. I dropped it. I'm so sorry. I didn't know there's an emergency. I'm so sorry. So the king says to the attendant, you need to fix this. You need to look high and low in my kingdom, do whatever you need to do to find someone to fix this diamond. So the first thing that the attendant does, he takes it to a jeweler. That's the logical place to go. See if the jeweler can fix it, tries to buff it, tries to get that scratch off. Can't get it off. Starts going to other places, asking around, can anyone help? Does anyone know how to fix a scratch in a diamond? Goes to Doc McStuffins. Doc McStuffins says, can't help you, I only take care of stuffed animals, don't take care of diamonds. Went to, I don't know, Rubble from Paw Patrol. Rubble was like, sorry, I can find diamonds, I can dig, I can't fix. Went everywhere he could think of and could not find anyone who could fix this diamond. He was about to give up. He was really scared to go back to the king, let him know he had failed. But one day, got a knock on the door, opens it up, and this person comes in, and she looks at the attendant, and she says, hi, I'm an artist in town, and I heard that you're trying to fix the king's diamond. And the attendant's like, okay, lady, what are you going to do, paint it? Like, come on, you can't fix it. She's like, well, I just want to try. Can I try? And he's like, okay, might as well, right? He's tried everything else. So he gives her the diamond. She takes the diamond away, comes back a week later, gives it to the attendant. I fixed it. The attendant says, okay. Puts it in the box, takes it to the king, and he says, I have your diamond. The artist in town fixed it for you. I hope you like it. And so the king opens the box, holds out the diamond. It looks beautiful. Holds it up to the light. It's still looking good. Where is that scratch? Turns it to where the scratch is, and the scratch is still there. Does anyone know what the artist did to the scratch? Hannah? The artist sketched around the scratch the design of a flower, a rose, and sketched a rose into it. And the king was so taken aback. He didn't think, first of all, he didn't think his diamond could be any more beautiful than it already was. And now it was even more beautiful. The artist had turned the scratch into something that enhanced the diamond. And the king was very happy that he had that precious diamond with him for the rest of his life. So this week in our Torah portion, we talked a little bit about this last night. So those of you who were here last night, sorry and you're welcome. This week in our Torah portion, we have a story about the Israelites, the Jewish people, their biggest whoops, their biggest like, wah, that was not great, mistake that happens. And the Israelites do something that doesn't make them very proud. And when Moses is away on the mountain, and he comes down the mountain carrying something very heavy. Does anyone want to guess what he's carrying? Eleanor. Sort of. But not a scroll like that. Yes. Yeah. The Ten Commandments, which were written on stone, heavy stone. He comes down and sees the Israelites doing something not good. Have you ever been doing something that you're not super proud of, and then maybe your parents walk in and they're like, "What are you doing?" Right? That's what happens with Moses. Yeah, Moses is like, "What is happening here?" And he gets so mad, he throws the tablets on the ground, and they break. And that's another big whoops. But our Torah portion is all about how after that, the Israelites, they do the work to make things better. And Moses goes up and gets a new set of tablets. But there's a midrash that talks about how the Israelites weren't supposed to throw those broken tablets away. You might think like, it's broken, just throw it in the trash. But God tells the Israelites to keep both, the new ones and the broken ones, and carry them with us everywhere we go. It's kind of like that diamond, I think, in a way, that there's the message from God is that we all mess up, right? We all have scratches. Sometimes the scratches are just things that happen to us that we can't control. Sometimes they're things we're born with that we can't control. Sometimes we have scratches that we did to ourselves, and maybe we wish we didn't do them. But there they are, right? But in Judaism, you have to make the things right. You have to say, I'm sorry. And you have to say, how can I make it right? Right? That's what we do at High Holidays every year. But then we carry those with us because that's how we learn and grow and become more beautiful each time that we learn and grow from our mistakes. So that's a little bit about a Torah portion that you can take with us during the week. And I'm wondering, and maybe you can share with me later, I'm wondering, if you were to think about what the scratches are, either on your heart or on your body, what are the scratches that you carry with you, and how can you turn them into roses? So we're going to continue now with our Baruch Hu. We're going to move now into the Shema and its blessings. So Baruch Hu is on page 108. If you are able, please rise. We're going to stand together, face the ark, and then I am going to give Esther and Audrey a heads up that you're going to be coming up for Shema. All right, 108. You could all be seated. And we are going to turn now to page 110 for Yotzer Or at the bottom.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai! In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the life you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. Thank you. All right, Esther and Audrey, come on up here. As we move into Shema Ve'ahavta, Shema is on page 114. Right before that, we have our prayer Ahava Rabbah, which is about giving thanks for the love that God shows for us. And then we have Shema, and then Ve'ahavta is all about how we show our love for God. So we're going to continue on page 114, 115 with Shema.
Shema Yisrael.
continue with Ve'ahavta on page 116. Max, you want to come with Ve'ahavta?
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם נאות על ידיך והיו כתובות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Thank you. On page 119, if people fall, can they not also rise? If they break away, can they not return? The stork in the sky knows when to migrate. The dove and the swallow know the season of return. What human instinct knows the time to turn back? What cue sparks the conscience of the soul? We pray to sense this day anew, attuned to the call of sacred living. We're going to continue now on page 122 with our Song of Redemption, Micha Mocha. Let's join together.
Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you?
Adonai,
Who is like you?
and we are going to say Lehitra Ot to our friends who are 5th grade or younger. And if you're 6th grade or older, you can stay. Shalom, Chaverim. Enjoy the rest of your day in religious school. We will see you at the lunch. Do you know how to play Shalom, Chaverim? Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom, Chaverim, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom. Goodbye, my friends, goodbye, my friends. Bye, goodbye. We'll see you again. We'll see Christina. Christina. Can you close the door all the way out? Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're going to turn now to the last paragraph in page 122 as we rise and begin to prepare for the Amidah. Zor Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufteknu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael, Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai Yisrael. You're on page 124. Adonai sefatachita ubiakite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim, Elohei Avotinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chassid Tobit, Zekonei Yaakov, Veraste Avot V'Imahot, Nevigu B'Lifnei Bnei Hela, Haiman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Mashiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav LeHashiach, Mashkiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechokel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Tzomach Nochlim Verotei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayeh Emunato B'Shenei Alpha, Michamocha Bal Geburot, Umidol Melech, Melech V'Miktu Echayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'emar atah leHachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Nekadesh Shemcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Hakatuv al yad Nevi'echa, V'kara ze'el ze'el ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech haaretz, Elohoto, Adir Adireinu Adonai, Adoneinu Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'Hu Yashmienu, V'Rachamo V'nei Kol Chai. Anani Adonai Elohecha, Nimoch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Tzion, Ledor v'dor. Hallelujah. Ledor v'dor ha'gibor v'chol, u'netzach netachim k'nechad cha'anadis, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamesh elam v'hem. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We're going to continue with silent prayer. If you want to use the words of our Siddur, we are going to pray through page 142. You can also just pray using the words of your heart. Whenever you're done, you can be seated, and we will join back together on page 142 in just a moment.
Oh, say shalom Biruma. Kuya say shalom Aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisaya.
Ve'yakol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru. Amen. Oh, say shalom b'mama. Say shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Ve'yakol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru. Amen. Thought you were going to go to Gabais, but you can do one. Ve'yakol Yisrael, Ve'yakol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru. Amen.
Nice.
Shalom B'Rama, Say Shalom Aleinu, Ve'yakol Yisrael, Ve'yakol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru. Amen. Toda Rabah. We are going to move now to our Torah service, which begins on page 244 in our Siddur. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. No. No. Okay. She's scared. Okay. I'd like to invite Zach up to carry the Torah. We are on page 244. If you are able, please rise as we open the doors to our ark. Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein kamasecha malchutecha malchut page 246. Ki mitzia tetze Torah. Ki mitzia tetze Torah. Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. 248. Baruch Shenatan HaTorah. Baruch Shenatan Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Unrom Mema Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai HaGedula, HaGevura VaTiferet, VaNetzach VeHachod, Ki Cho Bashamayim Uvaretz, Cho Bashamayim Uvaretz. L'chol v'rosh.
Sweet as honey,
As honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Adonai. B'mitzvotav etzivanu, לעשות בדברי תורה, לעשות בדברי תורה. Sweet as honey,
sweet as honey on our tongue.
sweet as honey, sweet as honey,
Sweet as honey
honey
on
on our tongue. You can all be seated now. If you do not have a chumash and you would like a chumash, there are a few right there. There's one right there. I'm hogging. I have two, and I'm happy to share in a moment. We are. Anyone have the green chumash? Anyone using the women's commentary today? Well, not the page we're reading, but so if anyone on the live stream is using the Eskenazi Weiss Women's Torah Commentary, that's on page 509. For everyone else that's using the Cloud Torah Commentary, which is the blue one, we are going to be on page 593. 593. Here's one. All right, so we're going to hear just a little bit from our Torah portion today. And this is near the end of our Torah portion. And it's the part where after all the damage has been done, and after a period of time where, we talked about this a little bit last night, that the Israelites were separated from God before they started being able to draw near to God again in the same way. And then now at the beginning of chapter 34, which is where we're going to read from, this is the part where basically God's saying to Moses, it's time for you to come back and get a new set of tablets. God says to Moses, carve 2 tablets of stone like the first, and I will inscribe upon the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you shattered. Okay, so that's our first verse. And then we'll be reading verses 1 through 3. So, for Aliyah today, I would like to invite up anybody who is in 6th or 8th grade that has already become the mitzvah. So that would be Emmett, Esther, Sally. I think this is 380, right? Yeah. Are you in the blue? 593. 593. Okay. Yamdu Lalia HaTorah. Whoa, it's like ouch. They're coming at me. All right, friends. Hi, not yet for you. I'll come back in a month and a half. April 20th, right? So close. Okay. Why don't you go stand on that side next to Zelly and Esther. And the first word is right here. So you can together, y'all are gonna read a French Shalosh.
Baruch Adonai Hambarah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And Zoe, you can hold that for me. Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, v'sul lecha shnei luchot avanim b'rishonim, v'chatavti al haluchot et hadevarim asher hayu al haluchot harishonim asher shabarta. V'hiye nachon laboker ve'alita baboker el har Sinai v'nitzavta li sham al rosh hahar ve'ish lo ya'ale imcha v'gam ish al yareh b'chol hahar gam hatzon ve'habakar al yeru el mohahar hahu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher natan lanu Torah v'emet
V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai
noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach to you all. You may be seated. And we are going to, before we put our Torah away, don't go too far, Emmett. Before we put our Torah away, we are going to say our, I did say, we're going to say our prayer for healing, our Mishaberach prayer. And we say that the Torah is a tree of life to all of the who hold fast to it. It's a source of strength. It roots us. And so that's why when we have our Torah out, we say one of our most vulnerable prayers, where we're asking for extra strength and healing. This Shabbat, we are praying for healing of loved ones in our community, our wider circles of community. We're thinking about Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Amy Thornton, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Vadim Barzam, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Janelle Cohen, Glenn Letts, Jesse Early, Andrea Gorovich, Carl Wilhite, Ginny Gaston, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Adrian Helander, Barbara Laird, Marion Laird, Michelle Arrigo, Joni Michaels, Joe Giordano, Sheldon Morgenstern, Roberta Carmel, Brian Ward, Joshua Kornblue, Samuel Navarro Ibarra, Bob Howell, Colin West, and Joe Dover. Are there other loved ones that you're thinking of who are in need of healing? Please share. If you're on the live stream, please share in the chat. We're in the middle of page 253. Please join.
Mi shepera avotenu bakora
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Ishebera avotenu, the core of bracha avotenu, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, a renewal of body, a renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Amen. We are going to lift our Torah high for all to see, and then dress our Torah. Gary, would you be willing to hold our the Torah? And let's see. Darshna, do you want to come dress the Torah? I'll show you. Let's see. All right, so we are on the bottom of page 252, Vizot Torah. If you are able, please rise. And we are ready. Vizot Torah Asher Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael Al Pi Adonai B'yad Moshe. are going to do a little bit of Haftarah. We're doing this a little bit out of order, but even though we've returned our Torah to the ark, we're still going to do a little Haftarah. And I am wondering if there is someone who feels very strong in their Haftarah blessings that would like to come with me. I'm going to start by offering it. Yeah. Okay. Would anyone else like the honor of chanting the Haftarah blessings? If not, it's okay. We can do it communally together. All right, Max and Zell, you can come up here and help me with it. How about that? Compromise. I'll do it with you. That's right. I got you. Okay. Let's all do the blessing together. Echad, shtaim, shalosh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah Uf Moshe Avdo Uf Yisrael Amo Uf Yiviyeh Ha'emet V'Tzedek. The Haftarah is only in the Plout version, but it's in the blue Chumash on page 607. The Haftarah for this Torah portion, each Torah portion has a specific section of verses from the prophets that's usually tied thematically to whatever's happening in the Torah portion. So the Haftarah for this Torah portion comes from 1 Kings chapter 18. After many days in the 3rd year of the drought, the word of the Eternal came to Elijah. Go, show yourself to King Ahab, and I will send rain onto the earth. Elijah went to present himself to Ahab. The famine in Samaria was severe. So Ahab had called in Obadiah, the man in charge of the palace. Obadiah was a man who greatly honored the Eternal. For example, when Queen Jezebel was persecuting the prophets loyal to the Eternal, Obadiah took 100 of them and hid them, 50 to a cave, and sustained them with food and drink. So now Ahab said to Obadiah, go around the country to every spring and wadi. Perhaps we may find enough grass to keep alive the horses and mules so that we do not lose all our animals. They then divided up the land between them for the search. Ahab would go one way, Obadiah the other. Once on his way, Obadiah was unexpectedly met by Elijah. Recognizing him, Obadiah bowed low, saying, "Is it really you, my lord, Elijah?" He answered, "It is I. Go tell your master that Elijah has come." Obadiah said, "How have I wronged you that you are handing me over to Ahab to be killed? As the Eternal your God lives, I tell you that there is not a nation or a country to which my lord Ahab has not sent to look for you. When they said you were not there, he made them swear to it. And now you say, go tell your master that Elijah has come? The minute I leave, the Spirit of the Eternal might carry you off, who knows where. And when I go tell Ahab that you've returned and he can't find you, he will surely kill me. I, who from childhood on have revered the Eternal. Have you not heard what I did when Jezebel was slaughtering the prophets loyal to the Eternal? How I hid 100 of them in a cave in 2 groups of 50 and sustained them with food and drink? And yet, now you say, go tell your master that Elijah has come? He will surely kill me. Elijah answered, as the Eternal, the God of heaven's host lives, and before whom I stand as servant, I tell you today, I will appear before him. So Obadiah went to find Ahab and told him that Elijah had returned. And Ahab went to meet Elijah. The minute Ahab saw Elijah, he said, is this indeed you, the troubler of Israel? And Elijah answered, I am not the one who has made trouble for Israel. You have. You and your father's house, by turning away from the commandments of the Eternal and following the Baals. Now send, gather for me all Israel at Mount Carmel, and the 450 prophets of Baal, and the 400 prophets of Asherah who dine at Jezebel's table. Ahab called all Israel and gathered the prophets at Mount Carmel. Elijah stepped forward to the people and said, "How long are you going to hop between two opinions? If the Eternal is God, follow the Eternal. If Baal is God, follow Baal." The people made no answer. And then Elijah said, "I am the only prophet of the Eternal left, and there are 450 prophets of Baal. Let us have a couple of bulls. They can choose one, chop it up, and lay the pieces on the wood, but do not put a fire underneath it, and I will prepare the other bull, lay it on the wood without putting fire under it. You then call upon your God, and I'll call upon the Eternal. The one who answers by fire is the real God." The people answered, "Well said." Then Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, "Since there are so many of you, you take a bull and prepare it first. Call on your God, but don't set fire to the wood." They took the bull that was given them, prepared it, and called on Baal from morning to noon, shouting, "Answer us, Baal." But there was no sound, no answer, as they did their hopping dance around the altar that had been set up. At midday, Elijah began to mock them, saying, "Call louder. He's a god. Maybe he's thinking or has gone off to a privy. Or maybe he's asleep and will wake up." So they raised their voices, cutting themselves with knives and lances, as was their practice, until blood flowed. And they raved on from noon until mid-afternoon, the time when grain is offered in the temple. But there was no voice, no sound, no sign of attention. Then Elijah said to the people, "Come closer to me," and they gathered around him. Elijah then repaired the damaged altar of the Eternal. He took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of Israel had come, saying, "Your name shall be Israel." And with these stones he built an altar in the name of the Eternal. Around the altar he made a trench large enough to plant 2 measures of seed. He then arranged the wood, sliced up the bull, and laid the pieces on the wood. Then he said, "Fill 4 jars of water and pour it over the burnt offering in the wood." And then he said, "Do it again." And they did it a second time. "Do it a third time," he said, and they did it a third time. The water ran down around the altar and even filled the trench. At the time of the afternoon meal offering, the prophet Elijah came forward and said, "Eternal One, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, make it known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Eternal One. Answer me, and let this people know that you, the Eternal, are God, and that you were the one who turned their hearts backwards." The lightning of the Eternal came down and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the dust. It licked up the water in the trench as well. When they saw this, all the people threw themselves to the ground and cried out, "The Eternal alone is God. The Eternal alone is God." We're joined together in our blessing after the Haftarah on page 254. Chad, Shtein, Shalosh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el haneman, ha'omer ve'oseh, hamdaber u'mkayem, shekol davarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'vim ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, yibarach shimcha, befi kol chai tamid, le'olam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Toda rava, yishakach. There's always a lot of intensity in the Haftarah because the prophets are intense, but you don't always get as good a drama as that story. So really wanted you all to hear it out loud. Usually with Elijah, there's always an interesting story with Elijah. And I think that on the surface, this Haftarah portion was paired with this Torah portion because of the whole golden calf thing and the bull thing, and sort of like the duel around who the real God is versus making an image of God, or praising a different Baal, a non-God. One of the things that stuck out to me this year reading this Haftarah is how much time has passed between the Torah portion and the Haftarah portion. And then basically here we are again, right? Like we've gotten to this place where a lot of people in society have turned their backs to God and are bowing down to other gods, and you could extrapolate what that means for us today and how we worship other gods. It's a tale as old as time, but part of the message here is that we're always at risk of this happening. It's not a one and done, like, okay, we have the golden calf, we have new tablets, there's a new covenant that comes out of that in our Torah portion, a new covenant is made between God and the people, and like, we're gold now, we're good. But that it's hard work to stay committed to the things that you maybe initially at some point in your life make a commitment to, and to keep that going. And especially as a society, when other people in society are turning their backs, it's hard to be the one who stays true to your own values. So we're going to continue now with Aleinu, which is our prayer on page 283, reminding us that we have a sacred opportunity and obligation to be a light unto the nations, one that we do not take lightly. If you are able, please rise and we will join together. We want to face the heart. Aleinu l'shabeh l'adon hakol, l'tet gdula l'ter b'shit, shehu samcha li'akaret shemo, v'gor aleinu l'hamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, v'mishtachavim u'modim, v'ipnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 287. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai hamelech al kol ha'aretz. Hayom hahu yireh Adonai echad. U'shemo be seated. As we reach the end of our service, we turn to page 294, as we always do for Mourner's Kaddish, which is our opportunity to think about our loved ones who either have died recently or loved ones who died perhaps at this time in years past, if it's their yard site, or even if there's someone that you're just particularly missing on this Shabbat. And we as a community are remembering 6 people who died in the last 30 days. We're observing the Shloshim period, mourning the loss of the following. We're remembering Frank Allen Coombs, father of Carol Schuster, father-in-law of Brian Schuster, grandfather to Shoshana, Galia, David, Daniel, Rafi, and Emily, and great-grandfather to Kayla, Solly, and Nate. We're also remembering Jill Ann Folio, the sister of Karen Rosenberg. We remember Hannah Adler, our own congregant. We're remembering Glenn Cantor, the son of Bernie Cantor and brother to Cliff Cantor, brother-in-law to Pauline Cantor. We're remembering Wendy Lieberman, a beloved staff member at the Jewish Day School next door, director of admissions there, part of our larger Seattle Jewish community. And we remember Henrietta Winkler Nematoff Dalkey, the mother of Rabbi Nematoff, mother-in-law to Leslie Nematoff, and grandmother to Rabbi Alana Nematoff, the other Rabbi Nematoff, and her husband Noah, and Rabbi Nematoff and Leslie's son, grandmother of William Nematoff and his wife, Allie. On this Shabbat, we also are observing the yahrzeits of loved ones who died at this time in years past. We're remembering Mildred Bowes, Adeline Cohen, Lillian Klein, Stephen Plotnick, Thomas Roderick, Joseph Schuster, Edith Shapiro, Mildred Skolnick, and Margaret Wheel. If there are other loved ones that you're thinking of on the Shabbat and want to share the name of the loved one with us, please do so now. And if you're on the live stream, please share in the chat. If you're able, please rise. We'll join together on page 294 as we recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish together. Ikadal v'ikadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam olamei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'manav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. We say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. At the memorial service for Wendy yesterday, one of the teachers, Nance, said that she likes to say, may their memory be for a blessing and an inspiration. So I love that idea that someone's legacy can be both a blessing and an inspiration to us. You may be seated. We are going to conclude. We've got our two blessings. I'm going to invite everybody who's in 6th through 8th grade. Everybody.
These babies to someplace I'm already at.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. You get to hold the Kiddush cup. All right. Friends, we are going to begin with our blessing over the Jews. Please join us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei, you got it? Peri hagafen. L'chaim, you get to about Jews. Jade, will you reveal our challah and cover it, please? Thank you. We'll join together in Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, v'te'er a closing song. This is a great group of people, huh? Yeah? Look at these people. All right, what's our closing song?
One day.
One day. All right, please sing with us. Y'all sing that.
Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. And I pray, don't take me soon. 'Cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes of my tears I drown. But I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. Because all my love I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no wars and no children will play. One day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose in the field on the souls of the innocent. Blood drinks the pavement, keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this maze you could lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it fade you. No way, no way. Sometimes when my tears are drowned, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. Because all my love I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and no children will play. One day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. One day those will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll be free, I'm proud to be under the same sun, sing together. One day, one day. All my love I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars and no children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Yasher Koach. Let's give a big Yasher Koach to Emmett. Yasher Koach. Thank you so much for leading with me. Thank you to Irene for doing our live stream. And Yasher Koach to all of you for the ways that you participated today. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You get 6-minute head start on the lunch before all the kids swarm. Enjoy.